You're tuned in to the Changwoner, the podcast coming to you from Changwon City, South Korea. With your hosts, Scott, Adam, and Phil.
It's the Changwoner Podcast, the podcast that brings you some of the lives of people living and working here in South Korea. Once again, I'm Scott. Sitting across from me is one of the hosts, Phil. Phil, how's it going?
Pretty good.
And sitting beside him is the other host, Adam. Adam, how's it going?
Good day. How are you?
Not too bad. And this week we've got a special guest. We got a former host of the podcast who was here originally when we started this whole thing out. We got Mr. Paul Roberts sitting beside me. How's it going, Paul?
Good to be back. It's going great, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Have you done any snowboarding this winter?
I have not. I've been super lazy, and it's crazy because I was talking to a few guys last night, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just like come into Korea for a couple of days, and we're off to Japan." I was like, "Oh cool, where are you going?" And they're like, "Oh, we're going snowboarding for 3 weeks." And I was like, "Oh come on, I'm so jealous, man. I love it. Japanese snowboarding is awesome."
I can't snowboard or ski.
Yeah,
it's a big shame.
Right, it is. Shame on you, Adam.
I can cross country ski.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like as in just like.
Yeah.
That's pretty. You know,
it's
you
not
have
a
to.
plane.
You have to go for it.
It's pretty good. It's a good workout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So since when were you doing that?
Oh, I haven't done it in years, but it's the only skiing or snow activity I've really done. You know.
Well, why did you get into that? Was it like going to school or something?
Originally, it was a school trip. Yeah.
He was going to school every day.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
In Canada,
there's no buses.
We'd woke up in the morning and to an earthquake, right? So the beds were shaking. So we went to the top of the mountain and they were like, nobody go off piste because of all these avalanche warnings, right? Which avalanches are terrifying to me, completely terrifying. Right?
Yeah.
And the guys were like, okay, so let's hit it and go off piste. And I was like, oh, God. So obviously I followed them into the valley, you know, and the boys took off and I hit this nice, like pristine bit of powder. And I was like, oh, this is so nice. Why has nobody been riding this?
Untouched.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, this is great. And I was gliding down. And then like, you just couldn't see anything about like 10 meters in front. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I just came to like a grinding halt at the top of a massive drop. It was like a huge cliff. And I was like, yeah, shouldn't be. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Jesus.
And then, but the problem with that is then you fall down because you've stopped. And then you're waist deep in powder. That's heavy. And then you can't get out. And your board's on you. And it takes you about 45 minutes to get out of the powder. And then you have to pretty much like claw your way back to the actual run. It takes about an hour and you're knackered after you get there, you know. The worst thing though is tree wells. You know what they are?
What's that?
So what it is you've got huge trees in the like off the runs, and when it snows hard, it like snows kind of sideways, right? So it builds up against one side of the tree, but the other side of the tree doesn't get any snow. So it gets like a real thin layer on the other side. So there's nothing down the other side of the tree. So it's a hole. Right? So if you're snowboarding through the trees and you hit a tree well, you'll go straight down to the bottom of the tree. But the tree's like maybe 6 or 7 meters up, right? So you're then buried in the snow 6 or 7 meters up with a tree in front of your face and no way to get out.
Jesus.
Dark.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Yeah,
man.
terrifying.
Well, now I have a new phobia.
He's definitely not going to snowboard or ski now, though, is he?
It's even more...
Canceling that trip.
For me, it'd be more scary on a snowboard. I'm not comfortable, like, having my feet confined to one place. I like skiing. Done it for quite a while.
Right.
But I've never had the ambition or want to try snowboarding. I think I could eventually do it, you know.
Yeah,
I've always been pretty good at picking things up, but I just don't like the feeling of my feet being confined.
Yeah, it's like anything, though. You get used to it, right? I mean, I've never tried skiing. Never. Not even
Just
once.
straight into snowboarding.
Straight into snowboarding. Me and Mr. Austin Buckley, we took a trip with like 50 people, went to Changwon, went to the top of the hill, strapped the boards on, night ski, never tried it before, fell all the way down the mountain for 3 days, covered in bruises, and that's how you learn. And then we did it. And it's all right. I'm saying night ski, I meant snowboarding.
I remember when you first started referring to Paul, like going to, was it Mucho a couple times with you? And you were kind of just picking it up. You might have been once or twice.
Yeah.
And, you know, after the second or third time I went with you, I could see how you were getting better and stuff.
It's practicing it, you know.
I was kind of just following you behind on skis.
Yeah, because you could always ski, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Been skiing like way in the past, right? Yeah.
What would be like an ideal future destination for snowboarding for you?